Question: should I be giving dogs regular kennel time during the day? That is assuming I don't have any potty training concerns anymore. I'm just thinking about relax time. Do they relax better in the kennel, or is it okay to just let them sleep wherever they want? These days, I feel like everything I see online is a matter of opinion, but you always give me data-based answers. Okay, so here's the question. Essentially, the question is, this is from a client, somebody I know the dogs. So the question is, very common question, should the dogs get crated through the day? Putting potty training concerns aside, okay, this doesn't apply to you if you're still potty training your dog. So without potty training issues, should a dog spend the day or any time in the crate, or should they be able to hang out and sleep wherever they want? So I'll give you my take on this. I personally like to have the dog be very comfortable in the crate. If the dog is pretty happy and doesn't cause any issues and they have wonderful home manners, yes, they can sleep wherever, they can hang out wherever. If you don't have a problem with them and they're very manageable, easy to live with, they can be in the house and hang out wherever they want to hang out. But I personally like the crate time because it does a couple of things. It actually gives them this nice feeling of structure. Okay, so it basically tells them, for this period of time, I need you to hang out in your room. And also, the other thing that it does is it keeps the dog comfortable in the crate. And here's why. Now, I've noticed this from personal experience also. If your dog just lives in the house, hangs out with you, and they're pretty okay, basically just living and sleeping wherever they want, it's not a problem until you need to crate them. If a dog spends a lot of time, and it's routine to spend the day in the house, hang out wherever they want. Let's say you have to travel somewhere and you have to have somebody watch your dogs. Well, very likely they're going to crate your dog. If the crate is not part of their routine, what happens is when you have to crate them for whatever last minute issue that came up, let's say you have to travel or there's an emergency and now somebody has to watch your dog and they have to crate your dog. Well, if they're not used to crate time regularly, the problem you run into is they just will not be happy in the crate. And I've noticed this from personal experience with one of my personal dogs, but also with clients. So it happens, okay? At some point in your life, you might have to travel last minute where you are possibly unable to book boarding. And even if you are able to book boarding, a lot of these places will crate your dog. But let's say that's not the case, and your next best option is to have one of your friends or one of your relatives watch your dog. Well, there's a very good chance that they might have to crate your dog for a portion of the stay. So again, going back to, if your dog doesn't spend any time at all in the crate throughout the day as part of its routine, well, the moment you have to now crate them, it could be stressful because it's not part of their regular routine. Versus the dog that regularly gets crated, right? Let's say even if they're pretty happy hanging out, they sleep wherever they want, but if you make it part of their routine to sleep in the crate, to spend time in the crate, what ends up happening is they actually like their crate. They love their crate. They like to spend time in their crate. They like the quiet, calm space that the crate will give them. And then in the event you have to travel, in the event something happens where your friend or your relative, they have to crate your dog, well, the crate now is the one thing that they're very familiar with. So if your dog now has to go to your friend or your relative, it's a new environment, you're not there anymore. But if they're accustomed to the crate, if the crate is part of their routine, well, if you have to have your friend watch them, the crate is the thing that is familiar. And so they end up adapting much, much better to that change of environments. I've seen that, again, I've experienced this personally as well. And I've had this happen with clients. A dog will be dropped off with me for a period of time, and the dog is like, I don't know this place, I don't know you. But if that dog has crate time as part of its routine, even when they bring me the crate, the dog is very happy, very content to go right in there and cozy up in there, because that is the one thing that is constant. So to answer the question, I believe that every dog should have crate time throughout any part of their routine. It could be at any point of your choosing. It could be overnight, so nighttime could be their crate time. So if you go to bed at 10, whenever, and you get up at 5, well, that could be the time that your dog is in the crate. Or if you like to sleep with your dogs on your bed, that's not a problem. Then crate time could be, hey, when when I'm doing this at home, I just need to spend like a couple of hours in the crate. Or it could be something as simple as feeding time is going to be in your crate. So that's how you can do that. You could even go, hey, you can hang out throughout the house, do whatever you want in the house, sleep wherever you want, take a nap wherever you want. But feeding time, we're going to do it in the crate. What it does is it makes the crate very important. It makes the crate a really nice place to be in, because you're making an association of the crate to the mealtime. There's so many ways that you can play with this that will keep the crate a very relevant space in their life. So in the event you have to crate them for whatever unforeseeable circumstance that comes your way, now it's not something that they're not used to.